This is a short resume of the Warba Winter Carnival. The Warba School Winter Carnival was started as a PTC fundraiser in the 1940s under the guidance of Don Moran and his wife Mary. It was a two-day Saturday night and all-day Sunday total community effort. Tickets were sold by the junior high girls for several weeks prior to the carnival, usually during late January or February, depending on the weather. The girl selling the most tickets was Queen. She chose her escort from her class. The dance was hosted on Saturday night by one or two couples from the PTA. It was held in the village hall, no dancing in the school. No liquor was allowed in the hall, so traffic was heavy across Highway 2. A dinner was served on Sunday from about 12 to 2 or so. This full meal was prepared by the kitchen committee. All day Saturday food was prepared. Pies were donated by PTC families. Older young people served as waitresses and waiters. Men and kids washed dishes in the huge tubs in the furnace room. Mrs. Ollie Anderson and Dora Lee were chief cooks. An average of 200 to 250 meals were served. A hot dog and snack counter upstairs was provided for anyone not needing a meal. A huge pile of snow was made north of the school and made into a throne with stuffed animals, trees, and so forth for decoration. The Queen and escort occupied the top level while the court, runners-up in the ticket sales, 4 or 5 highest boys or girls, occupied the lower levels. All of the royalty were robed in costumes made by PTC Mother. These were fabulous royal robes of royal purple for the king and queen and various colors for the court members. Prizes were awarded to all the court. There were outdoor sports in the snow, races, contests, games for everyone. Prizes were awarded or ribbons given. These events were handled by a large committee, mostly dads, as the women were busy. In 1954, we even had a parade. Men had sawing and chopping contests. Women threw rolling pins at snowmen and had snowball fights and other contests. And the children had relays through tires and tunnel crawling and skiing and snowshoeing contests and snowman building contests if the weather permitted. Inside there was a bingo hall, fish pond, cakewalk, and other games for small fry. There was a parking crew who used their tractors to move snow, build the throne, and manage cars. The teachers and children decorated the halls and rooms in the school during the week previous. This event was totally run by the community and was a total involvement for everyone in the area. At 6 o'clock, the biggest committee moved in to clean up and put the school in order for Monday a.m. Monday was money counting day. In-count varied from 1,800 to 2,200 during the 10 or 12 years of the large carnival. The carnival continues today, but in a less extensive form. In the era previous of the 1940s and 50s, winter entertainment was totally lacking. There was no TV, no sports, and so forth to take anyone away from the carnival. Now, we have a short film of various parts of several carnivals. Karen Sargent was the first queen, and she will be seen crowning the second queen, I believe, who will be Myrtle King. And then from then on, we'll try and give you a resume of what is on this short film that is composed of pictures taken by various people. Glenn Carlson was one who took a lot of the pictures. He was our principal for 4 years in the 50s. And there are other pictures that have been collected by the school audiovisual department, and they have been put together into a reel, which you will now see. Warba Winter Carnival, 1954, and others should be added in there. First scene is of some young boys in a three-legged race through the snow. This was very exciting. They got prizes for this. Here they are coming over the obstacle course, the same group of boys. They have to go over a bank and through a tire and race to a starting point. Here is a snowshoe race for young boys across the field at the school. This is an old Finnish game, and I don't know the name of it, but the idea is to knock your opponent off with a sack of hay, and whoever stays on longest wins. And it's really exciting, and it was a very good game for the carnival. Everybody liked it. Here's another group up on the pole. If someone knows the name of this, I wish they'd let somebody know. It was lots of fun, and everybody tried it. Here is the crowd in front of the schoolhouse. They are throwing rolling pins at a snowman. That's one way to get even with your husband. I can't name very many of these people. They're not looking at the camera, and it's hard to tell. There are a few that we can name. There's a queen going up to the throne with escorts. These are the part of her court. This is Geraldine Brown Newell being crowned by one of the Sari twins. The robes were all made by the PTC women, and the courts all had different uniforms that they wore. Here are some more scenes from the throne of the people up there during the ceremonies of crowning. The court was made up of people who were runners-up in the ticket sales. Now we have a man sawing. We had a lot of sawing, one-man and two-man cross-cut saws. And this was all timed, and the prize was given to the man who sawed through his log in the shortest amount of time. You'll see some timers sitting on the logs in some of these pictures. These are some of the logs. And there is a chainsaw. Now this was one of the first chainsaws, and I doubt if there was much competition. I think this was mostly a demonstration. Very cumbersome and big compared to today's chainsaws. Here's some more of this Finnish game. A different group of boys, usually the men and boys. This band was from Grand Rapids, and they came out the day of the parade to play for us. And this is just some scenes of the crowd in front of the schoolhouse waiting to see what's going to happen next. Here is another court getting ready to take their place up on the throne. These are the former queens from earlier years. You can read their names, perhaps you know. There's some of them that we know. Mrs. Karen, the first queen, she's going to crown Myrtle King, who was the second queen. And now we've switched back to some more sawing with a different kind of a saw. This is a bow saw. And these men are the timers. And here we have another crowd scene in front of the door of the school. And The people holding the skis are lining the parade for the Queen. This is Joan Sari, one of the twins. This is one of her court. And here's Manita's girl with her escort, another part of the court. Some of these I don't recognize and I can't see their labels. And here's Myrtle. And this is another year. This is Pat Murphy and Larry Clark. That's her little sister with her, and she's going to be crowned by Myrtle King. And this is Pat reading her speech. And this is another crowd scene. It's amazing how many people turned out. And here are the court people and the runners-up waiting for their prizes. Here is another snowshoe race, older boys this time. Some of them don't have very good luck. Here they are preparing for another race. This is some more of the rolling pin throwing. This was a very popular sport with the ladies. That's Grace Ojikangas. It's Dorothy Hall. Here is another group. This is Pat's court and all the supporting queens of former years. It's your little sister, Kathy. That's her mom on our right. I don't know who that lady is on the left. And here we have some more sawing. This is the hard way. And here we have the girls trying a three-legged race through the snowbanks, and some of the littler children. Here we have some more obstacle courses. More than one way to get through a tire. Here we have another snowshoe race. And somebody's dog came. We don't know whose dog it was. Here we have some more three-legged races of older children. New way to get through the tires. Pick it up and throw it over your head. Here we have some more of this finish game, a different night. It's a different carnival. That's a different log than we saw before. Yep. The men in the background are the timers and the judges. And we have some more pictures of the coronations. This is Karen Sargent giving Myrtle her crown. And this is Myrtle with her prize. Usually the Queen got a radio, which was hard for youngsters to get in those days. These are the former queens. Some more sawing. And here's a two-man team. Here are some local lumberjacks. This is the beginning of the parade. These soldiers, a color guard came down from Grand Rapids. These are some of the queens in cars donated by people in Grand Rapids. These are the cheerleaders, and here are some of the floats. This is a square dance. Ojikangas, the store. This is a forestry scene. These are from Grand Rapids. This is the Eagles car. And this one is also from Grand Rapids. And here's Jeanette's Cafe. Jeanette and Norman Johnson had the cafe. And here's the Mornis truck. Here's another view of Jeanette's Cafe waiting at the intersection. Here's the crowd watching the parade. And then we flash back to some more scenes on the throne. I don't know what this is. This is a later queen. I think it's just who did we say this was? I don't think we ever decided who this one was. Here we have some more crosscut sawing. These men worked hard and they really enjoyed this. They had a lot of fun and there was a lot of competition. They came from Jacobson and Wawina and Goodland and all over, the young fellows to saw. Here we have some more of that finished game, and here we have some little kids trying it. And here we have another bunch on the racetrack with their snowshoes. These scenes are taken where the ball field is now in Warba, in that big field west of the school. This one, a little more professional skiing. These are the crew putting the logs back up. This is the scene of the door of the school. These are the older boys skiing. And here's part of the parade coming down Main Street. Shallow Lake 4-H. Ojikangas store. Color Guard. Queen's car. Some of the queens. Lowell Pidak and some queen runners-up, some queens. Lyle Wallstead. Now, whose car that is? And there's the Pickering kids. Here's another bunch of tractors, and this is from Grand Rapids. The parade went around the block and came out by the liquor store and went back to the schoolhouse down Main Street. And here's Swan River 4-H. You may see some of these twice because they're taken from different angles when they started and when they came back. This is the Grand Rapids Eagles. This is Lyle's service station. This is Chuck and his wife, Chuck Watson, and their horses, Gladys. And here are some people representing a cafe, and this is Gladys Watson with her horse and Chuck. Shallow Lake 4-H. The store again. They're coming down. This is the 4th grade kazoo band, and this is Valeria Wang riding her horse. That's a 4-H truck. This is a forestry truck. Here are some Indians. I think they're 1st and 2nd and 3rd graders. And then here's Mornis's implement. And Harold Anderson's wrecker. And they're pulling now into the schoolyard to disband. You can see them again going around finding places to park. Valeria and her horse. And here's the kids. These were 1st, 2nd, and 3rd graders taking part in their costumes. And this is the crowd assembling back at the school for more sports and entertainment at the school after the parade was over. And this is the float that took the prize. And this is Spike Murphy and his wife having coffee. And Glenn Carlson and Kenny Strew, and I think it's one of the halls. I think it's Archie. Everyone turned out to help, and it took a lot of people to judge all these contests. This is the banner at the school. This is Mr. Carlson announcing the winners and announcing the contests over the PA system. He was the principal for 4 years and took a lot of the pictures. This is Jack Gould reading some of the results and announcing some things. This is Geraldine Brown. Clara Ann, Joyce Lofgren, Tiny Norilla. And this is Betty Lynn's coronation. This was a very, very windy day. We couldn't hear anything. We could hardly keep the kids up on the throne. It was so windy and cold. The girls made a speech and thanked everybody for their prizes. These are some of the supporting cast. And here's some youngsters playing on the old swings that we had at school. Here's the bingo prizes in the gym, all labeled with who donated them. Here are the people playing bingo at the tables around the island in the middle. Here we have Jerry McCauley supervising the snowball throw. The women are throwing snowballs at the snowman. He's passing out the snowballs. That's Mr. Gould up there. He's one of the judges and one of the timers. Someone else with a stopwatch. And here's someone making an announcement from the back of the truck. And here are some more boys starting out on their races. They're not professionals. It was a lot of work for these people, and these men you see running around with stopwatches and boards to write on and everything did a lot of work to judge all these contests and award the prizes and supervise all this outdoor activity. Here the kids are just playing on the throne. It's all over now.